So close to perfection, so close to immortality. Last night we went 8 correct outcomes out of 9. Today it was 7. Look, it's still a really good result, but you know me, I am a perfectionist. I want to get all of them correct for you guys, but alas, 2 games let us down today. Let's tuck in immediately, no time to waste, because it's midnight where I'm recording this. We're going to go straight to Germany for the Eintracht Frankfurt v Liverpool game. Of course, I mean, the biggest, I'm not going to say shock result, but like, I guess the biggest result in terms of so many eyes on Liverpool. What was going to happen? What would the lineup be? How would they react? We saw, obviously, Salah got dropped. Isak and Ekitike started together. How would this fare? I, of course, told you guys Liverpool will win this game, but Frankfurt will score because them man leak goals. Liverpool concede as well. So Liverpool win and both teams to score. Spot on. You know what to do. Cheeky little subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 50k, on the next road to 100k. Frankfurt actually opened the scoring, funny enough. Christiansen, a really nice goal actually. Robertson kind of sat back, dropped off a little bit, and then whipped it post and in. But then Ekitike against his former team threw on goal. I think it was Robertson actually that made the pass for the 1-1, to be fair to him, so he made up for it. Ball through. Ekitike's running from the halfway line. Cuts in and just whips it. Runs off like that. Initially, I can't lie, I thought he was celebrating. I thought he was doing what's my man's name? NBA's back. Any basketball nerds, let me know. Who's the guy, yeah, that he scores or buckets or whatever, and he lets the grenade and he does that and he runs off. I thought he was doing that, then I realized obviously he's doing nah, my bad. It's because he ran off so aggressively. That's why normally when you do that against your former team, you say, oh yeah, like, my bad, sorry guys. But he ran off like that. I thought he was doing like the bomb celebration. So obviously big ups to him. Then Liverpool got into their own set piece bag with Van Dijk and then Konate shortly after, making it 2 and 3-1 right on half time. Of course, then they made a few changes and whatnot, but Gakpo got his goal, and more importantly, Florian Wirtz got an assist. Now, I'm not going to act like it was the most incredible assist, in the world, but just like people said for Gyökeres yesterday, scoring, it doesn't matter how, just start getting the numbers on the board and start getting your confidence up a little bit. Soon after, oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, Isak got hooked. He was kind of mid. In an everybody eats game, he was quite bad. I'm not going to lie to you. So, another questionable performance from Isak. I still rate him. I still think he's fantastic. But at some point, you got to start bringing us the goods. Now, the good news for Liverpool fans is that Wirtz bagged a second assist. Now, I will admit, I did find the tweet funny. I think it was like yesterday or the day before. They were saying that Wirtz against a Bundesliga team, it was like this meme of some guy lowering the rim, pretending that he's like LeBron James and just doing bare slam dunks from like a 5 foot high or something. He got his couple assists against a Bundesliga team, and the second one, let's be fair, it was all Szoboszlai. Obviously, you might know I slander SpongeBob, but I don't really think he's a great 10 whatsoever. But Szoboszlai's banger was basically a Wirtz little 2-yard P-roller assist. But hey, like we said, assists are assists, goals are goals. It's a 5-1 win. Liverpool from 4 straight L's have gone to 5 goals to beat Eintracht Frankfurt, who, yeah, unsurprisingly, got packed in again. So, not quite the scoreline, but as always, I keep on saying, if you're putting accos on my things, do not use the scorelines, because that's just ridiculous. Nobody puts bread on scorelines. Just go with the outcomes, and you'll be alright, as we saw. I almost forgot, Salah came on and dropped another stinker. Another team that bagged 5 this week was fellow English club Chelsea. Okay, never mind. They're going to tell me, oops, something went wrong. Foot mob. Don't let me down today, yeah? I'm trying to show guys. Okay, there we go. Thank you. We fixed it. That would have been embarrassing, bro. I'm trying to give you guys a video. They're telling me, oops, it's not working. Chelsea also got 5 goals today against Ajax. I told you guys, obviously, yesterday, Chelsea will win this one very comfortably because Ajax are shocking. And I also said, this will be the end of Chelsea's red card streak. It has happened. In fact, Ajax are the ones who got the red, and it became an everybody eat sesh for Chelsea as well. Mark Guehi, he got the early goal, the breakthrough, if you will. Caicedo, it looked like it was going to be another banger, but obviously, yeah, massive deflection, and it ends up being a P-roller into the back of the net. Weghorst got a pen of his own, so there was some danger. Ooh, could there be a potential Chelsea red card eventually? But no, just a calm pen. Oh, by the way, before anybody says anything, the Ajax red card is one of the most stonewall reds, bro. There should be no debate. I don't know why guys were saying, oh, if you slow it down a little bit, it's a little bit harsh on Ajax. It's a red, bro. You can't do that to a fellow professional footballer. That could have been an ankle breaker, potentially. So, deserved red card after 15 minutes. Chelsea got 2 pens of their own. And Jamie Carragher on CBS, he was saying exactly what I was thinking. You know, like in school days when it's, alright, whoever wins the pen, you get to take it. That's what was happening here, because Fernandez, Enzo got the first pen, and then Esteval whipped his one top bins after he was also fouled in the box. And then second half, just to add some icing on the cake, Tyreek George scores his goal. Again, a bit of a scuffy one, but doesn't really matter. You've scored 5 goals. That, to be fair, that's the third English team then to win by 4 goals this week. And obviously Newcastle slapped Benfica. City went away Villarreal as well. So most of the English teams are flying, except one team who we're going to get to at a later point. So obviously big ups to Chelsea. Very comfortable win. Obviously I thought they keep a clean sheet. Alas, the penalty had to happen, so it is what it is. But again, Chelsea won. That is all that matters when it comes to those types of things. Where shall we go next? Let's go to the other. In fact, no, we'll go here. Bayern. Before the Madrid game. Bayern München, because I told you, I remember the reaction when I said that Bayern are going to score 4. They were shouting at me, oh my days, no, you don't get it. Club Brugge, they're beasts. They're not going to get bullied like that. Bro, you need to understand, everyone is getting bullied by Bayern right now, bro. They have broken a record. I don't know how long it stood for. It might be the first ever time, maybe. 12 wins in a row, all competitions to start this season, including like Champions League and whatnot. Very, very comfortable. This Carl guy, don't even know who my man is, too tough. Absolute banger to open the scoring. I believe he's 17 years old. So obviously, you know, big ups to him for that. Very, very impressive goal. Then, of course, Kane gets his customary goal. Absolutely no surprise there. You know, who could have seen that coming? Back post, taps it in for his goal. Luis Diaz then realizes, oh, everyone's just scoring. Oh, no problem. That's when I'm going to invite myself to play as well. And gets his goal. Decent finish. Again, if it was not for him, maybe it could have been 7 or 8. But he decided to miss plenty of chances. No problem. And then, like I told you in the video, and I know you guys that watch the YouTube ones, you know I said this. In the TikToks, it's quite short, so I can't give my full analysis. But in the YouTube video, remember I said, even the last goal, Jackson's going to get on the score sheet and join in with the Everybody Eat session. Lo and behold, Nicholas Jackson gets the 4th goal. Pretty much an open goal, tapping from a few yards. But again, a goal's a goal. If that ain't worth a sub or a cheeky like on the video, I don't know what is. Obviously, I did think that Brugge would score like a random banger out of nowhere. It did not transpire, but again, Bayern 4 goals. I told you it'll be the team that scores 4 goals. I think that's warranting of a W in my eyes. Let me know if you agree as well. So big ups to Bayern on their win. Again, phenomenal record. Vince and company, fair enough, man. Maybe his watch is real. The chain is not fake whatsoever. Real Madrid, Juventus. Let's go there. That was the game that most of us were looking forward to in terms of, you know, good players to watch and just a good battle. It did not really transpire to be that, to be honest with you. It was a bit of, I'm not saying it was a boring game, but it, like the first half, obviously I thought it would be 3-1 to Madrid. So I said Madrid are going to win, but I thought it would be a lot more goals than this. But obviously De Gregorio had other ideas because he was saving shots left, right and centre, particularly from Mbappe, who probably could have had 1 or 2 in this game if not for De Gregorio making those point blank saves. I think he had a save on Vinny as well from long range. No, that was another Mbappe finesse actually. He just kept on saving from Mbappe basically. In the end, Real Madrid did break them down. Bellingham gets the goal in the end. I told you guys it will be a goal that will remind us of when Madrid beat Juve 3-1 back in 1962. For those of us who remember, it was very, very close to that, but it was not Mbappe. It was Bellingham who gets the goal from close range. Ball rebounds into the box around, I don't know, 8 yards out. He just fires it in for his first goal of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Very important for him to get on the score sheet, given that the Classico is this weekend. You want everyone fit and firing, high on confidence. Juve, I mean, listen, when you got Vlahovic up front, you ain't going to do much. You know, he looked a little bit sharper than usual today, but again, when it comes down to it, in the grand scheme of things, he gets the chances, he misses them. He's not quick enough to pull the trigger. The defenders get back in time. So yeah, there was not really much happening there. Carreras done his job. Valverde tried to hit a couple bangers. None of them really went in. But yeah, I think Madrid deserved the win. I just would have liked to see a bit more of a commanding performance, because the first 20 minutes, you could argue Juve kind of were on top and were unlucky. I'm not going to say unlucky, because they didn't really create like clear chances, right? Courtois did make a couple saves, don't get me wrong, but it was never like Madrid were on ropes like that. It was more so just they didn't really get out of like second or third gear. So they were doing the clutch control thing, but they kept on, false starting like that. And then eventually, like we said, Bellingham got the goal to win it for them. But as far as I'm concerned, I put Madrid win. Madrid get their win. I'm correct yet again. I'm taking the correct outcomes over anything. So fair play to Madrid. Up next, we're going to go to, you know what? Take me to Bilbao. The early kickoff. We need to have a conversation. I forget the person's name, apologies. I was going to get it up on the TikTok and everything, but I thought, no, you know what? I'm not going to search through all the comments. I've got to get these guys a video up quickly. But you know who you are. All I'm going to say is just do my bad. Just say my bad in the comments. Because when I put Bilbao to win, all I saw everywhere, nah, Unc, this ain't it, y'all. You think Bilbao going to win by 2 goals? You're having a laugh, mate. Qarabag have won both their games. They score so many goals. Bilbao are so bad. What now? I put Bilbao to win by 2. Granted, Andrade gets a goal in like 47 seconds to open the scoring. No idea what's happening with the Bilbao defense. But afterwards, it was all Bilbao. Like, I'm not saying Qarabag were bad or they were meaty. They definitely had a chance here and there on the counter. But Bilbao, if they really felt like it, could have had 5 or 6. Obviously, Inaki Williams and Nico Williams, both of the brothers, came off injured in the first half. Were they both in the first half? I think so, yeah. They both came off injured in the first half. Guruzeta, who you will see scored a brace here, actually missed like 2 chances before his first goal. Then obviously, he finally bags the equalizer. And it was all Bilbao from there. Like, it only looked like Bilbao were going to score the next goal. Navarro made it 2-1. At that point, you're thinking, yep, job done. And then Guruzeta, it was like a jumpers for goalpost snapshot, if you will, where the ball's just going to bounce to him. He takes 1 touch and then bangs it before the keeper can even... He's there doing like stuck in the mud, bro. He can't even react because no one's thinking he's going to shoot from there. He does shoot from there. He does get the goal. Bilbao win by 2 goals. Just like I told you. Now, yeah, Fairs, it wasn't a clean sheet, but, man, they gave Qarabag a goal on a play and then they still won by 2. As far as I'm concerned, for the amount of you that were saying, nah, look at that, you don't understand the sport, bro. How can you think Bilbao's going to win? The San Mamés effect. There we are. Congratulations to me. And congratulations to Victor Osimhen. I said Galatasaray will win this game and it will be both teams to score. I was doing my 2-1 merchant thing. It ended up being 3. Victor Osimhen, I've run out of superlatives. Me, who I can yap every single day, I'm running out of adjectives. Just picture in your eyes here trying to even be a defender or a goalkeeper when Osimhen's around. It's like, do you remember when Semi-Perfect Soul was in the sky and he's looking around? You say, where's Andre 18? And then Krillin and Andre 16, yeah, they're trying to hide. They're like, no, you can't do that, bro. And he's just there in the sky, blowing up all the little islands until he finds Android 18. This is how Victor Osimhen plays football. Bro, you even give him the tiniest sniff here of an opportunity to smell the ball, he's hounding you like that. But. You will lose the ball and you're going to go and pick it from the back of your net. What a striker. And again, he's going to miss chances, bro. He did miss chances today as well. But guess what? I don't care. Because so many of, well, obviously the goals, but even the goals that he creates for others, like we saw with Akagun's goal, it's Osimhen being a one-man pressing machine up front where you cannot afford to lack whatsoever. And that, just imagine playing against him. You're going to be so nervous every time where you see teams, they play out from the back, it's easy. You take a little touch here, do a little shoulder drop. You're not doing that when Victor's around. But they're going to tell me he's not good because he's playing in Turkey. Oh, well. Blame his agents. Bodo Glimt did get their goal, like I said they would. It was just a random header at the back post in the end. 2-1, 3-1. I'll take my win. GG's to me. Is that the end of my wins here? We have one more. We have one more because I said there will be one draw in this particular 9 games tonight. And the most obvious one would be Monaco v Spurs. You're welcome. That's all I got to say. Now, granted, we may have thought that Beer would play over Balogun. Balogun looking very different nowadays. Spurs were hanging on for dear life, but in the end, they got the draw. The draw is what I said would happen. It wasn't quite the 2-2 thriller that I was expecting, but nevertheless, it is a draw. And I keep on repeating, I predicted just 2 draws in this whole 18 games or whatever, and they were both draws. I don't think you understand how difficult that is to do. So fair play to myself. If you man aren't going to give me flowers, I'll deliver the flowers to my own self. I'm going to put from anonymous and I'm going to send them to my own house. So yeah, GG's to them. But there was one more draw, and that is the draw that I think cost everyone. Atalanta. What is this? What is this? Ademola Lookman in particular, you owe me my bread, huh? You owe me.
Tic-tac.
I'm waiting.
Tic-tac.
Contact me via Instagram DMs, via email, or comment on this video if you're watching Ademola. What happened here, guys? 22 shots in total for the team, 0 goals against Slavia Prague. I think these guys popped everyone's acca. How can you... And look, let's not also single out Lookman, because we know how that goes when Gasperini and them man were doing that. Kristovic, all of them, bro. Slavia went to Bergamo and they came away with a point, which I did not expect, you know? So, my bad. I thought, well, I got the clean sheet, right? Obviously, Slavia Prague were never going to score, so that was correct. But I thought Atalanta would get a cheeky little 2 goals. They did not do that. So maybe next time, again, you know, my bad. Like I said, when I get things wrong, I hold my hands up. My bad. Next time, maybe I got to fly with my head through the screen like that to score their header and put it in the back of the net myself. I don't know. So yeah, we got that one wrong. And the second mistake, this one, oh, it's not even my fault, guys. I can't lie. I'm not sure I can take responsibility for this one. Sporting 2, Marseille 1. I, of course, said that Sporting were the favourites according to all the bookies and whatnot, and I felt that that was a shambles. I said no, that doesn't make sense. I was flying, I was smiling when Igor Paixão scores again. By the way, Amenyah pinging balls like prime Steven Gerrard. I said, oh, what's going on here? He's moving like Di Stefano in 1956. For those of us who do remember, I said, what? Amenyah moving like this is crazy. He pings the ball, Igor lovely just wraps it outside the box, puts it top bins. I'm thinking, yep, he's done it again. This guy is a genius. And I realized, hold on, I can't call myself a genius. That's crazy. But unfortunately, it didn't happen for us. And I would have got away with it if it wasn't for these meddling refs. Marseille get a penalty. It gets overturned. Emerson now gets sent off. They start complaining about like simulation and then dissent, and then you got yellow card 5 minutes beforehand. I didn't even know that you can go and give second yellows via VAR, but again, whatever, the rules seem to just change whenever they feel like it. Marseille go down to 10 men. They try to hold on valiantly. Like I said, in general play, they've got a good defense. They didn't really threaten other than there was a Trincao free kick in the first half, but not really much else other than that until minute 69. Katamo bags his goal. The crowd, to be fair, when he scored, it was electric, it was rocking. And in the end, with 4 minutes to go, Sporting go and get the winner to crush my dreams, bro. Oh man, it's the 10 men, bro. Look, there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. That's something that I cannot factor when I'm doing my analysis of these games. So apologies. Look, we got 2 wrong, 8 correct and 7 correct. That's what, 15 out of 18. That's 83% overall, guys. That's an A star. As far as I'm concerned, that's an A star. So I'm going to give myself some props. We go again, match day 4. But yeah, listen, great week of football in general, regardless of like outcomes and that. Loads of goals, loads of red cards, penalties, chaos, drama. So I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think was the goal of the day. Let me know who you think was the player of the week in terms of Champions League. We'll be doing our top 10 players tomorrow. And I will consider doing Premier League predictions, but I want to let you know from now, they're not going to be as good as Champions League because I don't care about like Burnley and Leeds and West Ham and these guys, so they may not be as efficient, but we'll see how it goes. If people want it, maybe I'll do it. Let me know. Of course, like, subscribe, comment, share, do the usual stuff. Have a wonderful rest of your week. In a bit. But something went in my eye last second, bro. In a bit.